It looks like Randy Orton is about to return to WWE. And how should Randy be booked at WrestleMania 40? Today we're looking at not one, but two possible storylines for the Apex Predator to make his return. But could the Viper come back as a huge babyface or a vicious, nasty heel? On Monday Night Raw, we saw the Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line, Cody and Jey Uso taking on Judgment Day, Jey Uso going after Finn Balor on the outside, and Jey Uso turns and then Claymore. Drew McIntyre takes out Jey Uso at ringside, tosses him back into the ring, and the Judgment Day retain the titles. Drew McIntyre walks up to the stage and he sees Rhea Ripley there. And now we know that Drew McIntyre has aligned with the Judgment Day. This now stacks the odds against the babyfaces. At Survivor Series, Cody is backstage with everyone on his team, and they're worried about how it's now 5-on-4. They're not sure if they can pull it off, but Cody tells everyone that he made a phone call to someone, he's just not sure if he'll do it. The Survivor Series main event is on, and it looks to be a 5-on-4 match. Once all the participants are in, the War Games begins. Judgment Day gets the upper hand, and Drew and the rest of Judgment Day are destroying everyone. It's late in the match, the faces are all standing across from Judgment Day looking broken and beaten, but they won't give up and will fight to the end. But there's no chance of them winning like this. And then the lights go out and the music hits. I hear voices in my head. Everyone in Judgment Day is shocked. The crowd loses it, and Randy Orton is the final member and comes down to help out Cody. Judgment Day can't believe it. Randy enters War Games and immediately hits an RKO on Dominic. The faces rally against the heels, and at the end, we see Jay with a splash, Cody with the crossroads, and Randy hits an RKO on Finn to score the win. On Raw after SummerSlam, Cody thanks Randy for his help and answering the call. Randy tells Cody that he didn't do it for him. He did what he needed to do to fight off Judgment Day, because he's sick of seeing them run around Raw like they run the place. Leading to the Royal Rumble, Randy Orton has been dealing with the Judgment Day and Drew as they want payback for costing them the War Games match. In the Royal Rumble match, Cody is entered at number 1, and all the fans believe Cody is going to win this whole thing, and he's going to go on to WrestleMania 40 to finish the story against Roman Reigns. Randy Orton enters the Rumble at number 30. The final 6 are Randy, Cody, Drew, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Drew eliminates Knight. Cody eliminates Priest, but after he eliminates him, Cody turns around and eats an RKO from Randy. As Randy stands over Cody, he slowly picks him up and tosses Cody out of the Royal Rumble. Randy gets eliminated by Drew right away, and Drew ends up winning the Rumble and fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. We don't have Cody winning the Rumble here because, well, in this scenario, it looks like The Rock is making his return, and he's gonna go up against the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania 40. The night after the Rumble, Cody demands Randy come down and explain what he did. Randy simply tells Cody, "You think you're the man around here and you're not. And the whole time I was away, you were taking my spot. And this goes back to the days of Legacy. You always thought you were better than me." And a bitter Randy Orton hits an RKO on Cody, and the match is on. WrestleMania 40 is here, and these two have a historic rivalry with months of build. We get tons of flashbacks to Legacy, stuff of them teaming together, the turns they have had in the past, sit-down interviews, everything culminating to this giant historical rivalry match at Mania 40. Randy is a bitter, dominant heel at this point and simply wants to take it all away from Cody. The two of them have a no-holds-barred match at WrestleMania. This protects Randy as well if they do it this way, so that you don't have Randy having to go 20 minutes at Mania and dealing with his previous injuries. It protects him as well. Randy hits Cody with a sledgehammer like Triple H would. Cody hits a pedigree onto Randy. We see a Cody cutter onto Randy and an RKO through the table. As Randy looks to hit a final RKO on Cody in the ring, Cody reverses it into a crossroads, picks up Randy again, and hits a second crossroads to Randy, gets the win. Cody doesn't get to finish the story at WrestleMania just yet, but because these two have culminated this first match at WrestleMania, it leaves the door open so that Randy and Cody could go on to maybe even Backlash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. They could have like a best of 3 series where you can get Randy to get the next win and Cody finishing this chapter with Randy Orton. at, say, Money in the Bank. But what if Randy and Cody doesn't happen? How else can the Viper be booked for a massive return? Should Randy still return at Survivor Series and help Cody? The main event of Survivor Series still plays out the same, with Randy coming to help the babyfaces. We then see Randy fighting Judgment Day and Drew for several weeks on Raw, leading to the Royal Rumble. Randy tells the crowd that after a year of being away, he needs to go to WrestleMania and win to become a 15-time champion. At the Royal Rumble, we see the rematch between a bitter Drew McIntyre against a broken down Seth Rollins. But this time, Drew is full heel and aligns himself with Judgment Day. They settle this match inside of a steel cage. Judgment Day still gets involved, and ultimately Drew wins and finally captures the World Heavyweight Championship, sending him to WrestleMania 40 as champion. For Randy, he is in the Royal Rumble at number 27. But the odds are stacked against him as Judgment Day eliminate Randy and destroy his chances of taking on Roman Reigns. Cody then quickly eliminates Judgment Day right after taking out both Priest and Finn to win the Royal Rumble and go to Mania 40 to fight Roman Reigns. Randy's main goal after his return was to become a 15-time world champion. He tells the crowd he can't go forever and doesn't know how much longer his back can hold up. He's got one more shot, and Adam Pearce adds Randy to the Elimination Chamber match to determine the #1 contender for Drew's World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. The Elimination Chamber is filled with huge names. We have Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Seth Rollins because he wants that rematch. We put in Gunther as well, who is still your Intercontinental Champion, and rounding it out, Randy Orton. These are all interesting possibilities and picks in my opinion, because a lot of them already have issues with Drew, they have issues with Judgment Day. You're telling a lot of stories within this match alone, and a lot of the participants have tons of history with each other too. It comes down to Randy and Gunther, who is still the current IC champ, and after a grueling match, Randy hits 2 RKOs to Gunther, getting the win. We are now set for WrestleMania 40, and the whole journey has been Drew McIntyre and the Judgment Day dominating Randy the whole way and cutting him off every week. In the opening match of night 1 of WrestleMania, we see Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Late in the match, we get Judgment Day coming down to ringside. This will be JD McDonough and Finn Balor coming out, and we have the referee who has been knocked out at this time. They then start to attack Randy. Randy fights them both off, hitting them with RKOs, and Drew hits a Claymore to Randy. And when the ref wakes up, we get a slow count of 1, 2, and Randy kicks out. Drew signals for Judgment Day again to come down, and this time it's Dom and Rhea. Rhea distracts the referee. Dom gets in the ring and he rushes towards Randy. Randy moves out of the way and Dom eats a Claymore from Drew. Randy turns around and RKO to Drew. 1, 2, Drew kicks out. Finally, Damian Priest comes down and he's holding Money in the Bank. Priest turns and decides to cash in his briefcase. This makes it a 3-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew can't believe that Priest is turning on him. The crowd goes nuts here because you're getting a cash in a championship match at Mania. Priest is now looking like a babyface because he is cashing in, because there's been such tension with Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre for weeks leading to this match. In the final 5 minutes, we see tons of high spots. Randy is put through a table by Drew McIntyre. Priest hits South of Heaven on Drew, but he kicks out. Drew hits one last Claymore on Priest, and it looks like it's the end. Randy slides in and gives a punt kick to Drew, and a final RKO to Drew, and wins. Randy Orton wins the World Heavyweight Championship. We're left with a bitter heel Drew now fighting with Judgment Day. Damian Priest, while he failed the cash-in attempt, this sets him up as a brand new huge babyface coming out of WrestleMania, and it results in the implosion of Judgment Day, and you're getting that match of Drew versus Damian Priest coming out of it. Randy's return could be epic, but there's one more scenario that could play out, and it involves John Cena and his retirement. So click this video right here to see what happens. You don't want to miss it. See ya.